Jurassic World Rebirth is now out, and it's the start of a new trilogy. So why not rank the entire Jurassic movie franchise?
Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?
Now easily in last place, Jurassic World Dominion just represents the worst of the worst for this franchise. It can't get any lower from here. Dominion is awful. For starters, you have a cool concept, bringing back the original cast. That's something. Movies do that all the time, but it's just nice doing that in this franchise. But it's completely wasted. The movie isn't even about dinosaurs, but DNA cloning and flying bugs, whatever that is. And you may think that the few dinosaur scenes may actually save the movie, but the plot to get to those dinosaur scenes is so messy, so unforgettable, and nothing to do with dinosaurs, that it just makes the entire movie come off as not entertaining. There are a few scenes here and there that do stand out with the dinosaurs, but this movie did absolutely nothing in its favor. It's forgettable, it's messy. Everything that makes the movie bad is all in Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know what they were doing. They have these dinosaurs do a story that involves dinosaurs, especially since the beginning of this movie. They say that dinosaurs are now all over the earth, roaming the earth. That's the concept. You could have done a lot with that concept, but what do? Flying bugs. Whatever that was about. Now I can say, the only good thing that this movie did was start this YouTube channel. This movie was so bad I had to rant about it 3 years ago. That's the only good thing this movie did. Other than that, no. This is complete trash. Why does this exist the way it does? It's so bad that the studio wanted to restart immediately after they finished this trilogy. Hence why we got Rebirth as fast as we did, because the studio wanted to reset as fast as they could. Now the dinosaurs absolutely saved this movie. When it comes to just the volcano erupting scene, or some dinosaur scenes in the actual mansion, every time the dinosaurs are on screen, it saves the movie. But if you look at the plot, it's all setting up to Dominion. DNA, cloning, all of that, in a dinosaur movie. It doesn't fit. It's messy, it's forgettable, nothing in there stands out. I can say the first hour of this movie is stronger than the second hour, but still, they're both pretty weak. Like I said, the only good part about this movie are the dinosaur scenes, but we get very few of it to help the movie stand out even more. The plot is very questionable. Why are you going this direction? Jurassic World set up a lot of great things and rebooted this franchise perfectly, but now you're going down the route of DNA cloning, all of that, ruining everything Jurassic World set up. So now you get Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Domain, kind of the same package, but one is significantly worse than the other. This is saved by the dinosaurs, and there is a lot more enjoyable elements. Like I said, the first hour can be enjoyable compared to the second hour. Even the second hour in the mansion scene, there is a lot of enjoyable parts in there. It's just when you look at it on the story level, it's not good at all. Wonder why this trilogy was incredibly weak.
Feast underway. Don't move!
What is it?
Now, this is a huge step up from the previous film. In fact, the previous 2 films, because this one is actually enjoyable and a good movie. Now, although this sequel is significantly worse than the first film, because let's be honest, you're not topping that first film no matter how hard you try, it still gives us a lot of things that you enjoy from that first film, a lot of the same flavor from that first film, and that's all because Steven Spielberg came back to direct the sequel. So, of course, it feels like the same thing, but still different enough. Now, I gotta say, without Sam Neill in here, there's a huge piece of the puzzle that just can't be filled. Yes, our leading stars try to fill in that gap, but you're just missing that key main character from the first film that it just doesn't feel the same without him in here. Hence, the movie is brought down for that. And the plot just loses the touch of what the first film brought. Yes, they go down a direction that can work, but the overall execution just didn't. There is a lot of great dinosaur sequences, like involving the RV and the ending, but overall just doesn't really match the same quality as the first movie, or in fact, the other movies in this franchise. And that's where we get our newest movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, where I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. And I had the privilege of watching it a week and a half ago. And I really enjoyed my time with it. Now yes, writing perspective, there are a lot of problems. But not as much problems as something like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom or Domain. The story still works. This concept of being trapped on an island is what Jurassic Park 3 did. I'll talk about that later. But it's a concept that works. It's a concept that matches the Jurassic vibe. It's something that all these other movies should be doing because it's dinosaurs. They should be in their wilderness where they belong and not in a mansion or with flying bugs. We're going back to the dinosaur setting and going back to these characters being trapped on an island. That works. But writing perspective, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm fine with this formula of Jurassic Park 3 because I like that movie. And I can just throw all these problems aside because I finally get what I want from this franchise back again. Not a stupid DNA storyline or stupid cloning storylines. We're finally getting back to what made Jurassic World. These dinosaurs being more of a horror figure. I loved how this movie had that more horror, suspenseful feel. It definitely added to all these scenes. And I definitely did like a lot more of the new characters. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. Although the writing isn't as strong as some of the higher films on this list, it is extremely enjoyable and made me like it a lot more than others do, which when the reviews came out, I was surprised that not all of them liked it the same way I did. But real quick, if you want to help me reach my goal of 1K by the end of the year, consider subscribing. Let's continue.
They can talk to each other.
To a degree we never imagined.
On July 18th.
You probably won't get off the side of the line.
Now I will sit and stay on this hill that Jurassic Park 3 is a top 3 Jurassic movie. Now we brought back Grant. He's now part of this movie now. He's now a main character of this movie who was a big piece of the puzzle that was missing from the second movie. So it's great that he's now back in Jurassic Park 3. And like I said, I like the idea of being trapped on an island with these dinosaurs. That's why Rebirth worked a lot more for me than it did for others. And is why I like this movie a lot more than others do. I know this movie isn't well beloved by this fan base, but I'm one who always enjoyed it. Because I just love the concept a lot. We get some great dinosaur sequences. Now yes, I can say, some of these characters in some moments are corny and cringy. I just throw that aside because I can just enjoy the concept of being trapped on an island. Because those corny and cringy moments don't bother me that much. In fact, I find it funny and it only helps my enjoyment of the movie even more. I don't really understand why people don't like this film. I've always liked it, and I'm curious to see why people actually don't like this movie. It gave me all I want from this franchise, and I'm glad Rebirth brought it back. Now, Jurassic World is essentially Jurassic Park, but taking a concept of what if Jurassic Park actually opened. That's where this movie stands out. It brings the franchise back after 12 years, 13 years, and it brings us the new cast of characters, but having the idea of Jurassic Park opened. And it still all goes to disaster, showing that this park should never be open. Now this movie kind of just reminds me of Star Wars Force Awakens, where the first movie is the only good one in that trilogy, while the rest completely lose it and have no idea how they even connect to the first film. That's what Jurassic World does, but this movie works standalone. Don't compare it to the rest of the trilogy. It very much works standalone. Great dinosaur scenes, great new cast of characters, and overall it's a great comeback from this franchise. I might like it a lot more than other people like Jurassic Park 3, just because there's some suspenseful moments in here. There's a lot of good dinosaur scenes. And I just love the concept of what if Jurassic Park actually opened up. Yes, it can feel too similar to Jurassic Park sometimes, but it still delivered on what I wanted. Without these people being trapped in an island, taking the concept of what if Jurassic Park actually opened.
65 million years in the making. Jurassic Park.
But obviously, Jurassic Park is number 1. Obviously. Steven Spielberg obviously knows how to bring this world to life. He takes the concept of what if dinosaurs were brought back to life. Now, granted, it's the book. I don't know how much of the book was translated into the screen because I haven't read the book, but that's just a nice, interesting concept. And how does Steven Spielberg bring this story to life? Perfectly. Let's talk about the score. Obviously, The score is iconic. Every time you hear it, you know exactly what it's from, even if you haven't heard the movie, and it gives you goosebumps every time. And just the scene where these characters see dinosaurs brought back to life for the first time is able just to capture that wow factor of seeing these creatures as if you were actually seeing them in their perspective. The score helps with that. That's why the score is so powerful. And you also just have to appreciate the practicality on these dinosaurs. We get a lot of CGI these days, so it's just nice to see when the movie actually had practical effects back in the day. Because it can look better than CGI sometimes. Now the story is nice and simple. It just has that concept of what if dinosaurs came back to life and they were in a park, where everything just goes wrong. Steven Spielberg just knew how to bring the story to life, and he absolutely proved it with Jurassic Park, making this entire franchise that we have now. But anyways, if you like this video, maybe these ones on the side just you too. Like, subscribe, see you guys next time. Goodbye.